This video is part 4 of a series of college and career readiness resources available on the websites of the Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. In this video, we'll cover where you can find information about college success of high school graduates on Edwin and in the Success After High School DART for all students and for select groups of students. For guidance on where to find these tools, see part 1 of this video series. When using the Success After High School DART, you can select your school and also comparison school, or compare your school to others listed on the table. Postsecondary Outcomes are on the far right of the Home tab. On the Postsecondary Outcomes tab, there are a number of different charts and tables illustrating various postsecondary outcomes for your school, compared to the comparison school and also compared to the state. You may also view this data for all students and for students in any one subgroup listed. The first few charts are cohort views, showing the percentage of students who progress from 9th grade through various milestones together. These are sometimes called waterfall charts. Only students who met the previous milestone are included in the calculation of meeting the next milestone, so they have a downward slope. In the first waterfall chart, on the far left are all the students in the graduation cohort, the students who started 9th grade together, with some adjustment for students transferring in and out. In this case, 81% of the 807 in the grad cohort graduated from Lowell High School within 5 years. 19% did not graduate. 63% of the graduation cohort or starting group graduated within 5 years and enrolled in college in the immediate fall. And 51% persisted in college or enrolled for a second year. The next waterfall chart includes an additional data point, the completion of a post-secondary degree. You'll notice that this chart uses data from an earlier graduation cohort. That's because this milestone takes more time for students to reach. The next few charts are annual views, showing the percentage of students who meet post-secondary milestones in any given year. You'll notice that the percentage of college goers shown here is higher than what's shown in the waterfall chart. That's because in this chart, the number of college goers is out of the high school graduates from a given year, while on the waterfall chart, it is out of the total graduation cohort, or students who started 9th grade together. Depending on the context for your school, you may be interested in the college enrollment of your students, the college persistence of your students, or the percentage of students enrolling in one or more developmental or remedial courses. Click on More about this data to find more about the data sources we use. There are also post-secondary reports on Edwin. From the Edwin Home tab, select Districts and Schools, then select Post-Secondary Readiness and Success. Select the first report, Post-Secondary Outcomes for all institutions. You may choose to go back several years to get the most complete post-secondary picture for your former students. Choose the year and group you are interested in. Under the post-secondary sections to display, make sure to choose Section A and Section D. These are post-secondary enrollment and post-secondary persistence. Once you've made your choices, click Submit. Section A are the percentage of students in your school who have enrolled in colleges or universities. Section B shows you characteristics of the students who enrolled in post-secondary education. Section C shows us about the academic preparation of these students. And Section D are the percentage who have persisted or enrolled for a second year in their institutions. Section E shows to what extent these students have obtained a degree, and Section F tells us about the institutions that students are attending. Remember that you may need to go back several years to see the complete data picture for these students. For example, to see post-secondary enrollment data, select the most recent high school graduation year shown. Data for post-secondary persistence enrolling in a second year of higher education won't be available for the most recent high school graduates. We need to step back a year or more because this milestone takes longer to accomplish. The same is true if you want to look at degree completion. To see how many students earned a post-secondary degree within 4 years, select a high school graduation year that is 4 years earlier than the most recent one listed. And for students earning a post-secondary degree within 6 years, select a high school graduation year that's 6 years earlier than the most recent one listed. The next report, Postsecondary Outcomes from Massachusetts Institutions Only, has similar information specifically for the students who are attending Massachusetts public universities and colleges, except there's an additional component. We also see details about the academic readiness of these students, or the percentage of students taking remedial or developmental coursework. These are non-credit-bearing courses. This report and this metric is using data only for students who are enrolled in Massachusetts public higher education institutions. For more resources, go to the Data in Action website, then select the Edwin Analytics tab to find several videos about Edwin Analytics, including one that describes using the Postsecondary Outcomes report in even more detail. You can use the Success After High School DART and Edwin reports to find the college success outcomes for your school or district's high school graduates. With this in mind, you can then examine early warning data for your current students and consider if any additional supports may meet their unique needs. We'll cover this more in Part 5 of this series. You may also want to look at the graduation and dropout rates for your school or district, which is covered in Part 2, or how your students are performing to other academic milestones across the kindergarten through 12th grade spectrum, which is covered in Part 3. Stay tuned for other videos of how to use the college and career readiness resources available on the websites of the Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education.